Hi everybody, Craig LaMere here, Moss Studios. This month my article is all about traveling and shooting. I've been lucky enough to travel pretty much all over the country at this point and traveled out of the country to shoot, for fun or for paid work. And so as much traveling as I do, I've come up with a system that works pretty good for me, and so that's what I talk about in the article this month. Some of the things I think you should take into consideration when you are traveling and shooting that I think is going to help you a lot. Number one, I think you need to decide what it is you're shooting when you're traveling. If you're out there on vacation and going to have some fun and you're going to be in a cool exotic place, for me, I'm going to take my 14 to 24. I want something really wide angle to take all that in. I'm going to take, an 85. I'm going to take a 50. Those are the lenses I'm probably going to take. If I'm traveling and actually doing work, let's say I'm shooting a wedding somewhere. Well, I know that I'm definitely going to take my 24-70, and I know I'm going to take my 7200 because those are my two wedding workhorses. And then I have to make a decision. If it's an outdoor wedding, maybe I can just live with those two lenses. I don't need to take more lenses. If it's an indoor wedding, maybe they don't allow flash, and so I'm going to have to compensate that with faster glass. So maybe I'll take a 50-1.4 or a 58-1.4 or my 85-1.4 just so I have that extra glass to give me a little more latitude when shooting. The other thing to consider when you're traveling is, what kind of lighting equipment are you going to take? Can you take mono heads? Do you just need speed lights? If I'm shooting a wedding, I'm not going to take my B1s. I'm not going to take Indras. I'm not going to take mono heads. I'm going to take speed lights. If I'm out doing commercial work, I'm not going to shoot commercial work with speed lights. Some people do. I'm never going to do that. So I'm going to take my B1s. And so I have to take all of those things into consideration because those are the things that's going to help me plan and pack the best. One of the other things that you need to think about also is what are you going to take all that gear in? Some people may check their bags, their camera equipment. I will never do that in my life. I would never sleep 1 second. I would worry the whole time that luggage was going to get lost and all my camera equipment was going to be gone. And so I make sure when I travel that I have a case that will work with any airline and their carry-on. And so then that really limits how much equipment you can take. One of the other things that I really think you need to think about when you're out traveling and shooting is what modifiers are going to use. How do you transport modifiers? How do you get modifiers? One thing that I found to be really helpful if you need to take modifiers, large ones anyway, is get a golf hard case. You can go, to Dick's, you can go to Guards, you can go to any of these sporting goods stores and find you one of those hard cases that people carry their golf clubs in. Most of them are long enough that they'll fit any kind of 4x6, any strip box, anything like that inside of them. The only thing that I will caution you about if you're going to use a golf bag is when I first started doing that, one of the airlines opened up my case and I didn't have any golf clubs in it. It was all just lighting equipment. And the lady was really nice because she told me that she could have charged me for an oversized bag, which would have cost me a couple $100. And that if I'm going to use that case that I need to have golf equipment in there. And so every time I go now and I have to take my hard case, I'll put 1 or 2 golf clubs in there, just so if they open it up that there's one in there. That's not saying they're not going to bust you. It's just saying that the lady at the airport told me as long as you have 1 or 2 clubs in that they won't charge you. So I don't know if that's true or not. That's just what I do for right now. One of the other things that I think that will really help you when you travel and shoot is to find out what is in the area as far as rentals go. Like if you're going to a metropolitan city, more than likely there's a million places that you can rent gear from. And so you don't have to take a lot of stuff. I know when I was in Dallas a couple weeks ago, I rented some softboxes, I rented some big umbrellas, and it was so inexpensive. I think I rented a 72-inch umbrella that I needed for a shoot for like $15 for the day. It was awesome. It was totally amazing. And so look in your area that you're going to if there's rentals. And then that way that it gives you more options as to what you're going to shoot and some of the things you can do. One of the other things I'll tell you, going back to those cases and bags that you use, think about the area you're going to be shooting in. Like if you're going to be in a city, then take a bag with wheels that you could pull. But let's say that you're going to be shooting somewhere where you're backpacking all the time, or that like is in like dirt roads and stuff. You're never going to take a bag that has wheels. You're going to take a backpack. And so little things like that are really going to help you travel a lot better. One of the other things that I'll tell you as far as traveling and shooting goes is one of the best resources you can do is find a shooter in the area that you're going to be at and kind of collaborate with them. You know, more than likely that person is going to know the lay of the land. They're going to know where the good spots are. They're going to know, you know, have models for you. Maybe find hair and makeup people. All these kind of things that they could help you with. It's going to be so hard for you to do all by yourself. You know, and one of the other things is when you're collaborating with people that I found is, you know, it's kind of hard when you're in your own area to always collaborate with people. You know, people get weird about like, oh, I don't want to show you my location. I don't want you to shoot my models. I don't want you to see my technique, all this other bull crap. But when you go to a new area, all that's kind of wiped away because you're like the new person coming in and you're not going to stay there. And so people are a lot more helpful and want to do things with you. Anyway, those are some of the things that I talk about in the article as far as shooting and traveling goes. You know, I really think that if you really think out what you're going to do, where you're going to do it, and how you're going to do it, is really going to make your traveling and shooting a lot more enjoyable and really a lot more efficient and productive. Okay, well, I hope you guys learned something from an article. I'll talk to you guys next month.